Hi everyone, I'm Katherine and I'm a TA at the Young Scientists Program through USC. I used to teach 4th grade at Mack and Norwood Elementary Schools. I hope you're super excited for the lesson today.
Today we're going to be learning about the 4 seasons. Let's start with our question and prediction for the day. Which months are the warmest and which ones are the coldest? As a reminder, you can use the sentence starter that you see on your screen. Usually, the hottest months in the US are June, July, and August, while the coldest months are December, January, and February. Why is it warmer in some months than others? Well, it turns out that has to do with the Earth's rotation around the sun. Because the Earth is a little bit tilted on an axis, some of the months, the northern pole is facing closer to the sun than the southern pole. And so in June, the United States is facing closer to the sun than Australia. Therefore, it's a lot hotter in June than it is in December. Not only is the temperature different in summer and winter, the length of the day is also really different. In the summer, because we are facing the sun more often, daylight goes from 5:40 in the morning to 8 p.m. However, in the winter, daylight usually goes from around 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. As you can see in the picture, at 12:30 p.m. in the summer, the sun is all the way up in the sky and out of the picture, but in the winter, the sun is just starting to peek out over the trees. In the winter months, December, January, and February, it tends to be a lot colder. In a lot of places, it snows a lot, and a lot of people like to go ice skating, sledding, or skiing. A lot of animals also will go into hibernation to keep themselves warm. Spring is in March, April, and May. During this time, there might be some April showers, which bring May flowers. Therefore, a lot of plants are starting to bloom, a lot of animals and bugs are coming out. People like to go on picnics, and farmers might start planting crops. The summer months of June, July, and August are the hottest. It usually reaches really high temperatures, especially in California. People like to go to the beach, go outside, go sailing, do a lot of things to just keep cool. Lastly, the fall is September, October, and November. During this time, trees are starting to lose their leaves. That's why we see leaves turning brown and orange as they die and fall off the branches. It's also starting to rain a little bit more, but we can go pumpkin picking, apple picking, and do a lot of things for the fall holidays. Now it's time for our experiment, which is going to be an arts and craft activity. While we're doing this, think about your own experiences in the 4 seasons, such as what you like to do, what you like to wear, and how warm or cold it is outside. There are a lot of optional materials you can use today. As long as you have something that's colorful and something you can put together, that's perfectly okay. For example, I just used some paint and some paintbrushes. For our experiment, we're going to be doing 4 trees from the 4 different seasons. To start making a tree, you have to start with the trunk and some branches. As you can see, I'm using brown paint to do so, but if you want to get super creative, you can use a toilet paper roll and just tape it or glue it onto your piece of paper. For my first season, I'm going to start drawing some snow. I'm also going to draw a snowman. Maybe you can draw someone sledding if you want, anything that has to do with being cold. You can also use white pom-poms if you have them to represent snow, or white beads. All right, that looks great. Let's move on to our next season. For this next season, we're going to start adding green leaves to all of our branches on our trees. I'm using just a brush and paint, but you can use leaves from outside if you want to collect them with a parent or guardian. You can also use some green pom-poms or green beads. I'm adding some grass. Also, the flowers are starting to bloom, so we can start adding pink flowers, purple flowers, whatever color you guys like. For our third season, again, I'm going to add a lot of green leaves to our branches, but this time all of the leaves are already out. So I'm going to add big bushes of leaves all over the branches so it looks super full. If you want, you can add red fruit to the trees using beads or your paint. I'm adding grass again because it's super lush. Maybe I'm going to add a sun up top because it's really bright and sunny. For our final season, I'm going to start adding leaves again, but this time there's not so many leaves because they're starting to fall off. Leaves are also turning yellow, orange, or brown in color because they're starting to die, and so there's a lot of leaves on the ground. There's also, you might want to add a pumpkin, so you can do a drawing of a pumpkin. Maybe you have a pumpkin sticker. Just because a lot of more of those orangey colors and orangey plants and crops are available during this season. Perfect, now we're all done. Looking at your 4 trees, now you should be able to match them up with the different seasons that we just learned about. For our conclusion, let's think back to what we learned about earlier. How do different seasons affect the temperature of the earth? And what do we do outside during each season? Now it's time for our Scientist of the Week. Eunice Newton Foote was an American scientist who was born in 1819 and died in 1888. She was the first scientist known to have experimented on the warming effect of sunlight on different gases that might come out of factories or cars, and she theorized that these gases could change the temperature of the Earth back in 1856. We call this climate change now. This is why it's starting to get warmer in the winters and it doesn't snow as frequently as it used to in some parts of the world.
Thanks for joining our experiment today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot. See you guys next time.